Hi, and welcome back to my workshop. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to make a new zero clearance insert for my table saw. This is a Delta 36725. Here's a factory insert. If I put it in and I'll move it, you can hear how loose it is. And one of the first things I did for this a while ago was make a zero clearance insert, which is this one here, which is also a bit loose. It's the same fit as the factory one, and it's not bad, but needs a replacement. I'm going to grab some material to use here, and this is a drawer front from an old dresser. It's a solid oak with an oak veneer, don't ask me why, and we'll trim this down to fit and cut out the gaps similar to the old one. And we'll use the table saw and trim it down to rough size. Here I'm just using my crosscut sled to cut them to rough length. I use a crosscut sled, miter saw, hand saw, doesn't really matter because we are going to be quite far from our final size. I'm going to use a sander to sand up to the finish line. So this is just rough sizing it. Use whatever tools you have. Alright, so here in this video I'm just showing a quick clip of me trimming off the corners. I'm just using a sled that I made to cut off the ends at 45, so I have a lot less material to try and sand off. Just trim off each corner, and I will repeat that for... Okay, so here you can see I cut off the ends, and I took this one, which is fairly good but still loose, right over here, did a quick trace, use a pretty thick line. You can see a thick line. I'm actually going to drill this hole out first so I can do some test fits. Then we'll use our spindle sander. We're going to shape it slowly and test fit at the same time until we get a good snug fit. Then we'll use this one to retrace the second one once we have a nice fit and make two. So here's our piece. We've shaped it. It's in there tight. There is no movement. We're going to do the same to this. I'm also going to take a test piece to fit our width because we need to cut this lip off, so I'm going to use that for a test piece. So then we have to worry about making it flush with the top. So onto this piece. Okay, so now that we have our piece, we need to get this lip here, and what we want to do is cut this out. And we're going to sneak up on it. We're going to use this bit and we're going to run it like this because we know we have a good fit, and then we're just going to move it up and sneak up on it until we get this right thickness. We want it to sit a little bit below the table. So that's what we're going to work on next. Now to do that, I'm going to take this plate, mount it to my trim router, clamp it to the table underneath, and then run this along the bit. Since I don't have a router table yet, that's what we're going to use. So here's the setup we got. We'll just run it along here until we get the fit we like and raise it up as we go. So originally I was going to just chisel that out, but what I did is I took the Forstner bit and I cut it. You can see that a little bit lower than this lip. see how it fits. Oh, we are backwards. Actually, we still have a bit of a lip, although our test piece doesn't. Could be from dust and crud in here, actually. See, now that fits good. So don't use a chisel on that. On this, use a Forstner bit just to make that a little bit lower. Then we might be able to use our set screws, but I plan to use this without set screws and just set it in with, build this up with a couple pieces of tape, actually. Okay, we have our two pieces fitting really nice. There's a lip this way. We're gonna shim that up. These were our set screws that we're not gonna use. Next is we need to make the kerf. However, if we install the blade, it would hit this. So what are we gonna do? We are going to start it, the 7-inch blade. So we'll install this, we'll lift it up so we can get our line where the big blade will be, and then this is actually a little bit thinner, so we're gonna just cut that out a little bit and then we'll see how that fits. Actually changed my mind. Since this is too thin, because this is just from a skill saw, I'm gonna use one of the dado set blades and make sure that our outside here, so we'll mount that, make sure our direction is right. Make sure that doesn't hit. Make that 1/2 inch. That down. Going to cut through it. First, we'll just do a quick. Okay, we're good. Slowly raise it. Alright, so here's what we ended up with. Here's our insert. This was the original one. It has the little clip on the back and the little tab in the front just to kind of hold it in place, but loose. Then this was the original one I built. I just just a piece of wood, and then I just glued a piece of maple to the bottom. You can see here we just cut out some sections, hand chiseled it. Also made a similar hook at the back, and pretty much just made a template of this one, but in order to get a narrower kerf in there. So that also just hooks in the back, but it's gotten loose over the years, and it was probably loose to begin with. So these are the two we just finished, and one we have as a 45 and one as a straight kerf, and this is actually just from one solid piece. You can see here what I did is I just took a Forstner bit, cut out a section for the arbor as well as the front here for, actually no, that's the back. Just some more clearance to stop things from hitting so I can raise the blade as high as possible. And you can see I added a little bit of electrical tape just to shim up the back end a bit so that we've got that tilt. And this actually fits quite nicely. We have nothing hooks at the front. You can catch back this way, slides off the back end, and I got barely a catch at the back. So anyways, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video when I get some time.